That super guy here. I want to talk to you guys today about lightweight flywheels and the pros and cons of getting a new one and then ditching your old one. And then the pros and cons of kind of keeping your old one if that's what you come to the conclusion at the end of this video. This is a drift motion flywheel. And then this is a stock flywheel for a 7M GTE. And you're asking yourself, what the hell is that? Well, that's the Supra that nobody knew. The inline 6 motor, they're all inline 6 motors, that nobody knew before Paul Walker Everly so made the 4th gen famous in the first Fast and the Furious, the orange one. This is basically like his little brother. This is like a 240SX Supra, if you will. That's why I like it, because it reminds me of my old 240SX. So the stock flywheel on one of these weighs 17.5 pounds, 17.4, something like that, depending on how badass your scale is. This thing on the scale, even in the packaging minus the bolts, weighs 11.4. So roughly that's like 6.1, 6.2 pounds of rotational mass off of your motor. Now what the hell does that mean? Well, that means you can boost faster or rev up quicker. But a couple of cons is if you're coming into a corner really hot and you want to downshift an engine brake before like really applying the brakes, or do that simultaneously. I don't know how you drive. A stock flywheel is going to beat this thing all day long. Stock flywheel is going to let you engine brake longer and actually apply some general slowdown to the car. This thing's going to drop off of a cliff, theoretically, when you go to try to engine brake on it, because it's so light already. It's already going to be spinning down quicker. But the cooler thing about this is you can rev it up a lot faster than you can the stock one. Now the stock one is also going to be better like in a dig situation, like drag racing. It's like the only other place that I can brag about a stock flywheel is either decelerating and actually engine braking, or like hitting just the drag strip all the time. You're probably going to want this from a dead stop. But when you already get the car moving and you already have this thing spinning, this thing is going to feel like it has more torque. This thing's going to feel like it has more torque in first gear or from the jump. This thing's going to just generally give you more horsepower and torque because it's going to let you rev the motor up faster. And you're still utilizing the same amount of horsepower. You didn't change your horsepower, you just changed how you access your horsepower. So basically those are the pros and cons. So also, if you have this and you want to rev match, you want to rev up so you can downshift because your car doesn't stock rev match for you. It's going to be a lot easier to do that in this than it is this. It's still really easy to do this in this. I find even with this stock flywheel I can still rev up and then match pretty well. I feel like it's just going to feel funner with the newer flywheel. But this was just to get a little bit more pep and a little bit more acceleration out of the Supra. And I know it's going to work. So another thing that came in today was from Drift Motion. It came for, it's a EGR block-off plate. I'm not going to do an unboxing. Maybe I'll do a thing on it later. It's just a little plate that goes behind here and blocks off your exhaust side, so it doesn't travel from here to here, through here, and then out the intake manifold I no longer have. So I have to have this to block this off to go to the next step, basically. If you do an aftermarket intake manifold and you ditch your EGRs. Everyone ditches exhaust recirculators. They're pointless. They're only for emissions. But that's the big guy here. I just wanted to talk to you guys for a second about what the difference is between the two flywheels. And if you're going to the drag constantly, take this. If you want to go highway bomb and kind of drift and you want to be able to get your RPMs up a little bit quicker, this is what you go with. All right, that's Super Guy here. Y'all have a great day. Hit the like and subscribe button, man. I'm trying to do this to give you guys a little bit of knowledge on any kind of Supra period or any kind of Japan car period. I like all cars, but I love Japanese 90s and 80s cars. That's what I've always focused on. So I'm going to try to give you guys all the information I can about those cars. RX-7s, Supras, 3000 GTs. I will be doing new videos and more videos on newer cars. Maybe I'll do my buddy's RX-7X. Who knows?